Well, good morning everyone, and welcome to a sunny day in Wales. Today I'm trying something different, as I am trying out the new BSA Gold Star, which is the new Birmingham small arms bike, and it's the new Gold Star which is made in India and assembled and checked in Birmingham or Coventry, and it's a 650 engine, and I haven't driven a bike this small for a long time, and it's my first review. And my initial get on and go view of it is an extremely light bike, and as a retro classic I think it's absolutely fabulous. And like I say, it's comfortable, it's got a little throaty note to it, and it sounds impeccable, shall we say. So we'll go for a quick ride through town and back on the bypass now for a run round to see what it's like. And come with me, and we'll have a look at the bike and how it goes, how it handles. And like I say, at the moment, I'd like to thank Martin from Motomartins to bringing me out, letting me take the bike out for a run. And like I say, it's a nice bike. The only thing I find about it is that it's so light compared to my Harley, and like I say, the gearbox is so, how do I say, unclunky and just smooth, and everything is light and easy about it. Clutch is light, the handling is superb, and like I say, it's just, how do I say, one of these rare things that I haven't never ridden before. And it's like I say, it's a breath of fresh air in my world because everything is so heavy and clunky. And like I say, it's a beautiful machine to ride so far. We'll do some outside photos in a minute and other photos, but like I say, we're just going to go through Aberdare town centre in a minute, because our motomartin is based in Cumberland, just at Aberdare, and the bike I'm riding is about £6,000 I believe. It's the first edition of the BSA, and like I say, it's got a lovely little throaty note to it. Give it a rev, you know, nice and throaty note to it. And like I say, as a retro custom, I thought I wouldn't fit the knickers being 6'4" and 20 stone. But trust me, it suits me okay. It doesn't look too bad at all. And like I say, so we're just going to have a quick run through town now. And like I say, it's a beautiful throaty sound in it. And I'm impressed so far with my little jaunt around town. And like I say, it's a, like I say, I'm impressed with it. And like I say, the looks of it, you know, if anybody knows anything about the cafe cultures of the 50s and 60s, you know, the actual BSA came from Birmingham Small Arms, and they were the chosen bike for modification for the ton-up boys, which means that every bike that they did was
That's really rough the power.
Thank you.
That's really nice.
Thank you. And getting people saying how lovely the bike is in the middle of town. So like I say, so like I say, it's a beautiful machine to ride, and to look at it is stunning. And like I say, it's a head turner because people in town are calling out to me so far and saying how lovely the bike looks. So if I was going to have a second bike, or if Claire wants a bike, I think one of these is a nice little option at the moment. You know, it's very flexible to ride and very nice to ride, shall we say. So we'll just go through here now and run on, look at this way. And like I say, I don't know about the aesthetics of everybody, but I think the bike looks stunning, and it's a 650 engine, and it's absolutely fabulous to ride. And it's got a bit of flies in front of it, but never mind. We've got nice mud guards, Brembo brakes, 650 engine, which sounds absolutely fabulous. And it's a twin seat and chain and the suspension. It's quite nice, and like I say, it's a beautiful bike to ride, and I think it's absolutely fabulous. The Gold Star, absolutely stunning. So like I say, if you want to take this bike out for a test drive or test ride, pop over to Motomartins, because he's got this in stock, and it's a beautiful bike to ride. I'm well impressed. I'll be going to the bypass in it now to see what it's like. But through town, about 4 people call out to me saying fabulous bike, and I got to agree with them. It is a fabulous bike. And a bit of history for Bit of history for BSA, like I say, we used to make small arms in the World War One, World War Two, 1909 or 19. They started making bikes, and the first bike came into production in 1912, and they supplied loads of bikes to the Second World War. And like I say, they went out of production in 71 or 73, but they were part of the same group as Triumph were in those days. But they made their name in the heyday in the 50s and 60s with the cafe races, where your local pre-war youth who came out of the army wanted to let their hair down, and they used to heavily modify the bikes and race between cafes. One of those famous ones is the Ace Cafe and the North Circular in London, but that used to happen in every town and city throughout the UK. So like I say, so they brought this back. It is owned by Mahindra, who, if anybody knows about their Indian manufacturers, Mahindra is the largest manufacturer in India because they make 4x4s and lorries. And like I say, I'm well impressed with this 650. And like I say, I like the touches of the wire wheels on it as well. That's very nice. And like I say, if I look for a retro classic, I'm well impressed with this one as a looker. And like I say, turning heads in the middle of town. So as I say, that's a stunning looking bike, and the people of Aberdare are loving it, and they're calling out to me as I'm riding it. So how do I say it politely? That's enough about milling about a car park and looking how beautiful it is, because it is very, very beautiful, very pretty bike. Let's see what it's like on the open road. And the bike is so light in the corners. I don't know what to say. You know, I'm used to weigh, you know, the Harley, which is like 16 metric tons, you know. Oh, when everybody else is riding around looking at me, no one is looking at me. But like I say, I'm well impressed with this bike, you know. You know, don't get me wrong, it's not a touring bike. You know, it's an unfair bike, but it's not a touring bike, but it's a lot of go on it. It's plenty of fun with it. And like you say, it handles a dream. And it's just so light, so nimble. You could use this to commute on a daily basis quite easily and get in and out between places. Yeah, so I'm impressed, and I like it. It'd be an ideal daily commute, provided you're not commuting 100 more miles. You know? And like I say, I quite like it. So it's a 650 engine, and like you say, it's a smooth engine with it. And the exhaust gives like a classic burble to it. So yeah, I mean, I'm impressed with it. You know, it keeps up with traffic on the bypass. It's no flipping ZZR 1000 or anything like that. Because it's only a 650, but like I say, for £6 what more do you need? You know, my Harley is £30,000. Does exactly the same thing. You know, there's no difference apart from it's both under the price. You know, okay, my Harley does tour with a fairing, and you know, we've got all the luxuries of radios and everything with it. But for pure biking and exhilaration, this is the, you know, this is a nice one to have, you know. So like I say, so Martin's got the Zotons as well, and he's got the Royal Alloy scooters. So I hope to take out the Royal Alloy, so that's one thing I've always wanted to have a go at, the Royal Alloy scooter. So it's nice to know the Martin's doing that as well. So there's a Grom, and like I say, yeah, I'm impressed with this bike. I do, the looks of it, like I say, the attention it's getting in town was a lot. And I only did one slow drive through. You know, this is a classic bike to poodle around towns on. There's nothing too shabby about it, shall we say. So, like I say, so I'd like to thank motomartin for letting me take this bike out. And like I say, it's a fabulous bike to take out. And like I say, when the roads are wheels are between 50 and 20 mile an hour, you know, this is one of the few bikes that you need, you know. And the attention it gets is quite head turner, shall we say. So, like I say, motomartin's come on, if you want to come on down and have a look at one. I'm impressed with it, like I say. What I find funny is everything is so light. The clutch is light, the gear change is slick, smooth, and the trouble is I'm used to heavy gear change and it feels like it's not there. So it's quite an interesting concept in my world. And the lightness of the bike, well, like you say, it's just, there's no weight. I probably weigh more than the bike does. That's not a shadow of a doubt. But like I say, don't get me wrong, it's not a cross-country tour like my Harley is. It's not designed for that. But for a daily commute or a weekend tootle out, you know, these classic retros are a very nice bike. And like I say, this is the first one I've ridden. And like I say, I'm impressed with it. You know, I'm not easily impressed, unfortunately, but I do like this bike. So my next booking will be for a Royal Alloy the next sunny day I got. Because I quite like the Royal Alloys. One thing about this bike, I'm wider than the bike, so commuting and filtering would be instantly easy on this bike, because I'm bigger than the bike, definitely. Here we are, back at motomartin's in Common. My closing statement on the BSA Gold Star. First ride, I think it is a fabulous commuter bike. It would be fabulous for people who just want to do the DGR rides. And like I say, anybody who wants to just poodle around the countryside and enjoy the world, it's an ideal bike. You know, it's not a ZZR 1000, and it's not a Harley Davidson take all your baggage with you. But for the price, it is an excellent machine. And I like it's got a retro note to it. I do like the note on it. I do like the design in it. And like I keep saying, we had 3 people in the street shouting at me saying how lovely the bike looks. So that is the BSA Gold Star. I'm well impressed with it. If I had the money and I was looking for a alternative day, you know, sunny day bike to take out on weekends and just portal around the countryside. That is there, you know, I'm impressed with that. So if you like the channel, like and subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you in the next vlog, because I want to talk motomartin into letting me take out the Royal Alloy next time, and I'll give you a review on that, because I've always wanted to ride one of them. So see you soon. Bye.